La Remelation o Corinth of Richard Burton Dean, Lawisque of Regina, Northwest Territories, Releging. Mista Ha Musqua,
otherwise known as Big Bear, who, not giving his allegiance to the majesty of the Queen, her crown and dignity, made war against the Queen.
That we could build something that is ours, of the first people. But the power to do those things had never been given, or I had never taken it when it was there, or there wasn't any to take. Or perhaps it will be 100 years in coming. I have to face. I know nothing of it now, if ever I had known anything.
Mr. Imusqua, Gua Remelade Tuoviao Scrab Namau, Kakwatu Dasisimu.
Big Bear, have you anything to say before I tell you how you will be punished?
It has been said here that I wanted to make war, and I will answer you only once. If I had wanted to make war, I would have painted my face. Did anyone here say I ever had paint on my face? I threw my paint away long ago. I see this room crowded with handsome faces. Faces much handsomer than mine, even when I was young. No doubt these handsome faces will know how to take care of the land, no doubt better than I. And perhaps they will also be able to take care of my people, now that I'm gone. I stand here, an old man. I will be sent away somewhere. This chain. This land belonged to me. It was my life. And when I had it, I never needed your moldy flour, your stinking pork. Sometimes I was stiff with agents who spoke to me as if I knew less than a child. But before most of you were born, I hunted buffalo over this place where you put this building, and the white man ate the meat I gave them. I was free, and the smallest person in my band was as free as I, because the only one had given us our place on earth. That was good enough for us. But you have taken our inheritance, our strength. Our land is torn up, black with fires, empty. You have done this. You have done this. There's nothing left now. My people are hiding in the woods, terrified. Those are my children. They are starving, driven from the land which was our great inheritance. They are running somewhere in the darkness, afraid to show themselves in the clear light of day. I pray, forgive them. They are hungry, terrified. Forgive them.
Mr. Musqua. E o a lemel u. Daquan namal da du. Daquan go out da fru umpret gulang li. Avoner. Over daquat go out da fru.
He says, Big Bear, you must be corrected. This land never belonged to you. The land was and is the Queen's. She has allowed you to use it. And you may live on the choicest part of it you choose, because the Queen has graciously given it to you. But the land belongs to the Queen.
I ask this court to print my words and scatter them among white people. That is my defense.
Wow, belong to Draken Mao.
U rample free. U rample free.
He says 3 years.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. My name is Daryl.
I'm your Iquab.
We put this video together for our brothers and sisters out there, the tribe of Gad. For me, I want to start out in Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6, where it is written, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because they have rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children." We as a people feel like we have no hope, feel like we're not remembered by our Creator, feel that everything around us is just desperation, living only to survive. And I look around and see all our young people, all our elders. When we go up before Senate and councils, they give us no respect. They break treaties left and right. They write laws that benefit them. They do all these things, and we receive nothing from them. Food stamps, commodities. All these are truths that we know about on these reservations. And these are all curses, which is why we use the book of Deuteronomy and the prophecies that are written in those places. And we do not have that knowledge, which is why this video came out, is to give you the knowledge to know that you are better than just being called an Indian, better than just being called an Apache, a Navajo, a Sioux, and all these other cursed names that we were being given. And by calling myself an Apache, I call myself an enemy, but I don't know who is my enemy. Now I've come to that realization that my enemy are those who have given me the name Apache, who have taken away the inheritance that was given to us. And the reason why this inheritance was taken away from us is because we started doing abominations in front of the Most High, as far as setting up this crown dancers and saying that they are holy to us, setting up kachinas, saying that they are our gods. When we started doing things like this, it provoked the Most High to anger. And we all know that the scripture says that God is a jealous God. So if we have provoked him to jealousy, would he not chastise us? Would he not rebuke us? Would he not tell us that everything we're doing is wrong and that we are sinning against him? Because there have been men who have been raised up to fight for us and who have warned us of things to come, but we have not listened. So I encourage you, brothers and sisters out there, that you open up your ears and open up your heart to this word, is because it's our word before it ever came into the white man's hands. Israel is not a state. It was a group of people who were dark-skinned, who had moralities just as we did before the white man came. And I know everybody puts hate towards white men that are of a different color. But we have to remember, this hate is just a jealousy that is supposed to come to us so that we turn back to this God of the Bible. And everything I'm speaking about comes out of the Bible. Many of you have heard of Christianity preached. Many of you have gone to the Christian churches. And yet you still refuse to know who you are, because the knowledge of the old ones have been washed away by these who we call our enemies. They have brainwashed us with their boarding schools. They brainwash us with the sports they put on TV, the news that they give us. They brainwash us with all these things. And as the video clip, which is Big Bear, in there he knew his histories. And many of us have forgotten our histories. The old ones are dying off. The young ones act like they have no sense. But it is time for us to wake up as a people. Time for us to call out unto the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Time to proclaim his name in the earth, Ahia, Ashar, Ahia, and his son's name, Yeshaya. Would you like to say anything, brother?
Yeah. You know, what we're bringing out is we're bringing out facts. You know, I was raised up traditional, and I know my tongue. I can speak my mother's language. But the amazing thing is, once we started to read this Bible and started to connect the practice in this Bible with our tradition that we call tradition, you know, it helped me understand who I was or who I am, and understand that the Most High didn't set me here on this earth just to be a reprobate, if you know what that means. Yeah, we grow up in this society, you know, and this society teaches us everything against the Most High. You know, we come against this foul system that we grew up not understanding. Because when we try to understand what we call the white man's way, we didn't want it at first. Yeah, I was prejudiced. I didn't like the white man. I didn't even like the black man. You know, everything to me was, if you were chief, you were my brother. If you were native, you were my brother. But now I come to understand through the scripture that my brother and my sisters are those who keep the truth. And this is the truth. You are my brother and my sister. And we are from the tribe, the 12 tribes of Israel. We're from the tribe of Gad. Now, if you read about Gad, Gad is a troop. And that's who we are. We're this troop for the Most High. We're just soldiers for the Most High. We're warriors. You know? Because when you read the Bible, and I know a lot of our stories that we have, it talks about fighting giants. And where do you find that? You find it in the Bible. You find David fighting against Goliath, a giant. And to make it clear that every one of these tribes that are out here in North America, we always fought against giants. Why isn't that the Europeans, like the Romans, made the giants their gods, but we fought against them? See, the Most High had already separated us from the other nation. And when we come into this truth and the stuff that's written in the Bible, and when we start to connect, it brings revelations. It brings revelations to who we are, to our spirit. Because our spirit, we have DNA. We know that our spirit, our DNA has memory. And through those memories, we can connect with our Father. That's why the scripture says our spirit cries out, Abba, Father. You know, it's hard to grow up in this world not knowing who you are. Yeah, you might say you're Indian, or you might say you're from this tribe or from that clan. But see, none of that was actually really what's going on here in North America or South America. When we call each other's, we called ourselves and we identify ourselves as human beings. When you look at our language, the language that we speak, like I speak Toa. You know, and in Toa, we say Dash, which means people. Then when you look at the Navajos, the so-called Navajos, when you ask them, what do you call yourselves? They say Dene. That means the people. Well, where do we get this term Navajo from? Where do we get these terms Pueblo from? You know, we didn't make these names. These are bywords that were given unto us by our enemies. That came because the Most High sent them against us, because we strayed from the Most High. We strayed from the God that created us, that set us to be a nation chosen and separated for Him. Now, when you look in our traditions and our ceremonies, there's a lot of things in there that does make sense. But when we start to follow these spirits out in the wilderness, these kachinas, because I used to carve kachinas. I used to be in the dances. I had my own mask. I used to dance and I was proud of it. I looked at the Navajos who were in Christian churches and I says, man, they're lost. They don't even have their God. They don't even know their tradition. But then when I looked at myself, I was in the same shoes. I didn't know my God. I thought practicing these traditions will help me get closer to my God. But instead, I was being drawn further away from my God. But then when I read the Bible, and that was one thing, when I was going to jail, my tradition could not help me. My tradition couldn't help me in jail. So I started to read the Bible, and I started to make these connections about David fighting giants, just like we did. You know, about the Mitris. When you look at all our chiefs, they have the headbands, and that represents a holy man. In the Bible, it represents holy mans also. You know, and even our chiefs wear headbands. So it was given unto Joshua a Mitri, which is like a headband. You know, stuff like that started to make sense. And then when I read like the book of Enoch and I learned about the fallen angels, and then it made sense who the Kachinas were. They were fallen angels. And when you look at the stories, even in these folklore stories where it talks about how we had certain traditions and had certain ceremonies, when you really look at it and dissect it, you will understand that it always starts off that our people were in famine or our people were going through a hard time. And they always start off with saying, we send a male or a female who has not been married, a young maiden or a young man. And when you really look at it, these were offerings. We were offering our own people, you know. Now, think about it. Are you still following that tradition? Which our elders tells us, oh yeah, this is what we've been doing forever. Or we've been doing this for a long time. But then when you go and ask them certain things, they say, oh, don't ask us about that. Or this is how it's been forever. You know, even they lost their interpretation of that. But when you start to look at it and understand that this is not what the Most High has given us. You know, there's a lot of things in the Bible that does make sense to us. And we put this video out to reach our Gadite brothers and sisters, you so-called Native Americans. You know, hopefully this truth will wake you up. Because the Most High is looking at us to bring forth his name and to bring forth his truth. To bring forth the tribe of Gad, his truth. And I want to say the Most High bless